Example 2, a car starts a journey with a full tank of gas. The equation y equals 16 minus 0.05x relates the number of gallons of gas y left in the tank to the number of miles in the car has traveled x. What are the x and y intercepts of the graph of the equation, and what do they represent about the situation? So the first thing I want to focus on is the x and y intercepts is the question they're asking me for. Okay, that's the main question they're asking me. Then they want me to interpret it. That's the secondary question. And then the other thing I wanted to focus on is anytime they give you an equation in a word problem, you should read the problem carefully to see what the variables represent, because they usually tell you. So it says the number of gallons of gas left in the tank, that's y, and the number of miles the car has traveled, that is x. So they're giving you an xy equation, but they're telling you what x and y represent. Y is how many gallons is left in the tank, x is how many miles the car has driven. So again, we have an equation, and that's what we want to do. Now, X-intercept has the structure of some number, comma 0. A Y-intercept has the structure of 0, comma some number. So we just focus on the structures of these things as far as what they look like. In order to find an X-intercept or a Y-intercept, to find an X-intercept, I let y equal 0 to find out what x should equal. To find a Y-intercept, I let x equal 0 to figure out what y should equal. That's all you have to do. So if I have an equation, y equals 16 minus 0.05x, so to find the x-intercept, I'm going to do x-intercept here. I'm going to let y equal 0. So again, here's the structure of a point. That's what y always equals for an x-intercept. So if I let y equal 0, I'll leave myself with a basic linear equation. It's got an x in it, just numbers other than that. I usually like x on the left-hand side, so since x is currently on the right-hand side, I'm going to slide it to the left. So I'm going to take the negative 0.05x and chop it off, make a positive 0.05x on this side. 0.05x equals 16. Then we divide by 0.05. And 16 divided by 0.05, I'd probably grab the calculator for that. 16 divided by 0.05 is 320. All right. To find the y-intercept. Again, this is the structure of the y-intercept. And again, what's always true about the y-intercept is x is going to equal 0. So the y-intercept is going to be y equals 16 minus 0.05 times 0. You don't even have to solve that equation. That's just a numerical expression. Y equals a number, right? So 0.05 times 0 is 0. 16 minus 0 is 16. Now if I go up to back up to what x and y represent, x is the number of miles the car has traveled, so this is x equals 320 miles. And y is the number of gallons left in the tank after as many miles are driven, so y is equal to 16 gallons. So again, if they tell you what the variables represent, you should be able to put units on those answers. So question 1, what are the x and y intercepts of the graph? So the x-intercept is 320, 0. The y-intercept is 0, 16. That answers the question. Intercepts are just points on the graph, so you simply identify the points on the graph. What do they represent about the situation? If x is how many miles I drove, and y is the number of gallons in my tank, right? When x equals 0, I haven't moved it all, right? So 16 gallons in my tank is what I started off with, right? So Y-intercept is how many gallons I started with. Okay. The X-Intercept, 320 miles, 0 gallons, tells me I can go 320 miles before I run out of gas. X-Intercept tells me I can go 320 miles before running out of gas. When an interpretation problem like that, give me some interpretive answers, right? Tell me what the words mean, or what the numbers mean in words in a sentence format.